What? Good morning, people of the nasty world. Um, Today I make this video um, with some kind of content. I usually just talk. My YouTube is just talk. It's raw footage, you know. I told you already in the title. You see in the title. People, last night I was Russian television where this Jewish girl, girl, I don't know, this Jewish woman, she come up with some kind of story. She's like a column writer kind of stuff, but she took. Um, and she was talking about these creatures, cicads or something kind of things. They feed on minerals on the soil, and they dwell under the soil for like 17 years, and then they pop out. Um, they pop out after 17 years. They just come out and climb a tree and shed their fucking skin, and they become white from brown to white, and then they fly. You know, look how that is. They are brown and they are feeding the mineral of the soil. You know, the soil is just a decomposition of everything, the dead. So they feeding on a dead. For 17 years, they feeding on a dead. You know, nature is so fucking mysterious, but people don't take what is mysterious and what is real for granted, but they talk about any other silly thing. And I never knew such creatures exist. They even eat them in Spain or something. Imagine. And then after 17 years, they climb up a tree and there is a fucking noisy orgy. Noisy fucking orgy. It's not normal. Just, it's like gangbang. It's like the West in the 60s kind of orgy. Everybody fucking everybody. You know? Like, like, like literally the West, Europe and America in the 60s, you know? During the time of Beatles, you know, Rolling Stone, Jimi Hendrix kind of time. I mean, the older people, like you see, for example, in America, like Donald Trump, or people like Donald Trump, or Joe Biden, or George Bush, all these senior people, they were young then. Everybody was fucking everybody, just like kind of orgy with a noise. With a noise. Also, you remember they were noisy in the 60s. They were hippies, so they were noisy. They're trying to make every instrument as noisy as they can. That's why they loved Jimi Hendrix, because he was the best in doing that. You know? Damn. I said, what the fuck? And then what do you think I did the next step last night? I dig out every information that I can get about the numerology of 17. What is then 17? Because it's every 17 years. Now, when I see 17, say, what is then the scientific, you know, what is the logic behind connecting a human calendar to some kind of creature? No, because, you know, no, it makes sense. And then I ask myself, yeah, it makes sense because human calendar, whether it's Gregorian or any other calendar, it just it just didn't uh, come out from a blue. No, it is counting the process of day and night, and how the world revolves around the sun and on its own axis and around the sun. That is seasons. That is time. That is how we fix time. So it makes a complete sense, and it's perfect actually to think about time and to see how creatures do their thing. Imagine a fucking tiny insect called the cicads or whatever, cicads. Normal. I've never seen anything like this. The one thing that fascinates me, because I was really a fan of this Professor David Attenborough or Dr. Attenborough kind of guy. I watch a lot of films and videos because I'm not a nature freak, but I really love those kind of stories. It is a salmon fish story that really fascinates me, and I didn't see this mysterious part. Maybe I didn't concentrate. And then I said, yeah, it makes sense. Okay, let me check out then the numerology. What is the secret behind the numerology of 17? Religious wise, on different religious scripts, happenings in the world, in the Western Hemisphere, in other civilization. 17 numerology that has to do with the number system, the thing that we call mathematics. But mathematics is something in nature. Physics and mathematics is not some human made kind of thing. It's not a technical thing. It is a nature thing. It's just the symbols. We call them one, two, or we use Arabic symbols or whatever. But it is nature. Mathematics is nature. That's why they call it natural science, because it is nature. It's nothing something. It's not some technical aspect of a human thing for artificial thing. It's nature. You know. So I see the mathematical aspect of usually the most of it has to do with geometrical kind of thing. You know, making some kind of triangle. And then I say some people say it's the evil number. You know, it's some kind of evil thing. Even in Muslim religion, in the surah or something, they when they do salat, they see something 17 times or something. Uh-huh. Yeah, filming. Okay. Okay, this is the religious aspect. Now I don't know if they knew the secret of nature, or they imitated from nature, or it happened to be part of the natural aspect of things. Because people or nature, the religion, they have things like every creature is created for them to play with. To me, nature is a very secretful thing. Creatures that are so intelligently, you know, made and act as intelligent. It is so tiny. They don't have that physical thing, a bigger brain. Like a brain is big, and the bigger, the more complicated it gets, kind of thing. That's how we learn organism and how organism to be, what an organism to be, what it is according to size, from cells, from atom, blah blah, mitochondria, and all that stories. And then I say, man, it's not to dig up some, it's not to dig some, you know this is research to me. These kind of things are research to me. Not ignore what is really important and intriguing and interesting, and talk about some kind of technical shit made in people kind of bullshit stories. I say, what the fuck? I mean, if you see they're fucking noisy, man, noisy like fuck. and you see them all over the world. Feed on the dead because when you eat mineral, directly when you eat mineral, is when people die, you get buried. Any creature who die, including them, they get decomposed on the soil. So literally, the minerals is feeding on the dead. That's what we humans do. That's what every creatures do. Plants, animals, every living thing. You know. But after 17 years, they come out and they become airborne, and then they die. After I mean, like the Solomon story is also the same. You know, after they swim the ocean, they go to Siberia and they lay their eggs and they die, and life goes on, and the next generation come out to swim the entire ocean again. The same thing, tiny creatures, not even as big as Saul. So fucking tiny creatures, they call the cicadas or whatever. And she was also that Jewish girl she was talking about and how the fungus do to them whatever blah blah. But if you see how noisy that shit is, I never heard a story like this. And the bitches are clapping so that the them boys follow and fuck. It's just a big fucking orgy. It's just like in human nature is like the 60s in Europe and America. It's white people kind of thing. Man. Sorry for the slur. It's not slur. It's not racial slur. It's not like the coon and the buffoon and the cocoon. And I'm buffoon, and, and it's not the cocoon and the buffoon kind of story. No. It's not racial slur when I say white people. There are white people who exist, and the civilization. There are some kind of people who behave in a certain manner in some kind of time. In the 60s, there was big human orgy that they show me on documentary. They say me, they tell me. That's what I'm talking about. It's a racial slur. So when I see the numerology and religious wise and everything it is, no human story and natural story is related to what these creatures do than any creature in this world. Even not no even there is a myth. There is Egyptian myth. You know this myth in some kind of pyramid kind of thing. There's kind of some kind of myth about the number 17, that it is a symbol of some kind of resurrection and kind of story. But no, as much I know, nowhere in this olden civilization this kind of creatures are stated. You see? So human beings actually they like knowledge. For example, if you go to Egypt in the pyramid, you see the cobra, you see the eagle, you see crocodile, you see this kind of animals, you see some kind of cat, some kind of fox. But these are the things that human beings are. I don't think they are the smartest designers of things. I don't think. I don't think we are, because I mean it's logical to think there cannot be any creature. I mean there are a lot of creatures in this world that there are mysterious things like the salmon fish, or a lot of animals have some kind of mysterious things they do. But these ones, in the way how they process things, in the way they do, the noisiness when they fuck, and just after that they die. You know, they first plant the generation, they die, and again the new generation, 17 years of the same process, feeding on the dead, come out from the underground, be airborne, fuck noisy orgy, and then in the number 17. is, but why these creatures? Why these creatures are not written somewhere? But the numerology of 17 in human thing is stated. So you see, we don't have to speak the same language, and we don't have to be the same organism to reflect the secret of the world in what it is. And yesterday, when I tell you absence of bitches, when I tell you, you may think I'm weird, like he's a buffoon. He took a blah, he took this, he took that. No, no. To me, this is research. I'm a buffoon. The world, the world that accepts this status quo in the way of learning. And this is the mass is a bipolar, a bipolar, and all junk sucking buffoons is the word. You know what I mean? Like when I see, we see things that resemble to our body, to everything, and they are creatures, you know, and our DNA matches in a lot of ways, you know. The closer we get, like ancestors, like a monkey and a gorilla. No religion tell me, not a single religion tell me a monkey and a gorilla, 97% or 98% of a DNA chain kind of thing we share with them. And you're telling me every fucking creature, only human being is created by the image of God kind of shit. You have a mouth and an asshole, like all creatures there are around the world. You have just a fucking mouth and an asshole, and some kind of digestive system, some kind of breathing system, a brain, and everything. And people want me, they want to push this fucking religious junk on me. It's not nice. You can break my back, you can virus me, you can do anything what you do behind my back. I don't care, but I have to confront truth till I understand if I have to become even in the future a religious person or not, or I say who I am. I have to investigate. Like this is some kind of thing yesterday. God, thank God that I watched that fucking bitch, because that bitch always she took some weird story. Other than, it's not like she took something else in this world. She's a Jewish Muslim, and I said, "What the fuck? What the fuck she's talking?" And she was talking fungus, blah blah. I said, "What the fuck she's talking about? Fungus, blah blah." And she's talking about orgy and sucking and fucking. I thought she talk about a human sucking and fucking. What the fuck? This bitch crazy or what? And she was talking about this kind of creatures. I Google it. And then I watch some kind of old David Attenborough kind of documentary that I may not concentrate because I've seen everything that he make. You know, from the biggest documentaries in the movies to every fucking shit on Discovery Channel and National Geographic. I saw what this man do. And then I say, what the fuck? Then I go to the number 70. And before I do that, I say, is it logical to relate a number 17 with a natural happening of something that we count? Yes, we human beings, we didn't count calendar just from the blue. Some people just count it to be counted, like religious people claim. Okay, my grandpa, my grandpa, his name is Prophet Muhammad. His name is Muhammad. He's a prophet. So believe on him, or I fuck you up, or I kill you. No, it's your grandpa, not mine. Maybe mine also, but I don't believe the story. You know, maybe I'm related with blood with grandpa, grandpa, but I don't believe this shit. And if a Jew come or a Christian come and there is some kind of Jesus grandpa or some kind of Palestinian or a Jew or anything they tell us that was, no. I think the world is more complicated, more obvious to me, just looking at creatures like a creature I am. And I say, but these religious scripts relate things, but they don't relate what actually nature is if they don't concentrate, because tiny things they don't usually concentrate. There may be generalized story like locust and this shit. I don't know if these creatures are stated in the Bible. I don't think so. Or maybe, but these things are not written and related. How could people who want to make their religious stories mysterious so that people will be convinced, if not by conviction but by fear, how not they didn't write this kind of story, this Siddhar kind of thing? Imagine they literally behave like white people in the 60s. Noisy orgy after 17 years. 17 years for a fucking small insect. The entire lifespan you are feeding on the dead and you fuck like fuck. Noisy. And you go and look at what is number 17 on Google. Oh, people. Unbelievable stories. Unbelievable stories. Because I don't want to go and crowd my YouTube and hours telling you about the numerology, which is a certain specific number behave in a certain manner. Behave in a certain manner. No number behave like a number 17 in its mathematical aspect of it. Even when you relate it to some kind of geometrical, there is geometry and there is algebra. But this algebraic number 17 have a very geometrical, unique kind of thing in a sphere. If you thinking about some kind of even this wallpaper kind of thing on a computer, when you learn about metrics and the shit numbers, they become more mysterious when you have more mathematical knowledge than the things that we know at secondary school or calculus, or when you go deep, then you start to really see the relation. Numbers become nature themselves. You be transformed somehow. Even though I don't have master's or PhD in mathematics, I understand that it's going that way. You feel it. You know. So yeah, every information is on internet. Oh my god! And people cannot see that, or we have to ignore when you see some kind of creature, and it really resembles like something on your body. Is that not something? And you know that every creature, including plants, have estrogen. They have the same kind of DNA, kind of elements. How the DNA molecules, everything is changed. Deoxyribonucleic acid, ribonucleic acid. You know, when it changed, then it becomes deoxyribonucleic acid. Blah blah, and it is in every fucking creature, plants and animals. I have a family relation with plants. This is not some kind of stupid movie story or something. This is real. There are a lot of movies made. And even this number 17 is in this fucking wizard story. The resurrection of a wizard in this fucking famous white people movie. These white children like. What was the thing? Again, it's not Russian slur. When I say white people, it's like white people. White as a driven snow. It is not insulting. It's not slur. Don't tamper with my YouTube. You know what I mean? It's not a Russian slur. I don't do that. I love white people from the bottom of my heart. So don't fuck me up. So what I'm saying, we're not maybe not from the bottom of my heart, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But some kind of behavior in all the songs of Western Europe kind of songs, because the West usually when they relate stories of nature, they relate with their society as if they are the only human beings in this world. But me, I go and I try to find out what is written in Indian mysticism or some kind of Asian Chinese mysticism. Is the number 17 has to do with it. So I really all night what I was trying to look was that one. And in almost in all circles, in 360 degrees, this number 17 has to do with something mysterious thing, which some 40% of mysticism, including religious convictions, say is evil number. But evil, I don't know, because the number 8 is transforming from the number 7 to the number 8, from going from the evil to the good. I don't know how they reverse the conclusion. That's not the way I see it. If I know really the secret of numbers, I don't claim that I know things are mysterious. My third eye open. I'm not this bollocks guru kind of stupid people. I am not that. I'm not a businessman on that one. I don't know. I don't know. But this thing, what I see, I don't want nobody to explain for me, because I don't think this documentaries and this story about these things are not a made up story, it's real. You know, and I say, of all the stories of creatures that I heard, and I follow such kind of story almost half my life, more than half my life, I watch these things. One of the things that I do is observe any kind of documentary and stories about these things. A lot of weird stories, a lot of weird creatures, from birds that outnumbers human beings 6-1 right now. There are like 42 billion birds, wild birds, 42 billion, 6-1. They outsmart us in survival. The survival of the fittest, according to this kind of British uh, empire assumption of it all. You know, that uh, this theory, this British theory. But this shit is strange or not, people. You see how we are related as creatures. Imagine someone like me who have a strong conviction that any creature, it's my own, maybe somewhere it's written. I cannot claim I'm, even though you are a reader, you cannot read everything in this world. What every motherfucker write about mysterious stories. My thing is like this. I know this reincarnation kind of story of Indian kind of story makes sense to me also, but this thing is just an Indian civilization kind of story. You know, to me, it's not about a human being being born as a human being. No, I don't know how to back up my theory with science, but I think every creature is just a piece of us. And how a human body, after it decomposes, or the spirit part and the body part, or it physically, whether you decompose on earth or spiritually, there's some kind of secret in how after you die, the spirit kind of world they're talking about. I think every creature, plants or animals, every fucking creature is just a piece of you, is a part of you. Is a part of you, because these things are not just not. You cannot say they are not related. How could people who believe in religion, when they read religious books and how they are written, how could they don't believe this what they see? And instead of defining it and giving it to this story, controversial story that that claims ownership on truth, you know, that claims, that monopolizes truth. But this thing is more complicated, and I feel like, no man, these creatures, this Siddharth, blah blah, they are more related to me and to humanity, or to anything else, also any creatures, than any kind of religious story of anything. It's not normal. It's not normal. These motherfuckers feeding on the dead, feeding on natural minerals, and come out after 17 years, noisy orgy, and they die. Come on, people. Help me out here. 17 years. They know how they count a year. but nobody knows how they count the 17 years. That's what Dr. Attenborough said in that fucking shit. There is a reason why they count a year or how it happened. You know how they do. 17 of every year, 1 year, 2 year, and 17 they come out. All of them. All of them. So you see these people who have knowledge, every fucking clip they make, like Michael Jackson thriller kind of resurrection, all that kind of shit they show us is because they had the knowledge and they were making science documentaries just looking at nature. You know, Africans they shouldn't have done a long time ago. Instead of crying, yeah, everything is taken from us. I don't know. There may be a lot of things, mysterious stories as written even in Africa. I don't know. A human being have not enough lifetime to understand even the minuscule fraction of anything in the world. But just this observation is a big deal. At least a human being have a big brain to do a lot of things, achievements, science, blah blah, even understanding the world. We don't know how much these creatures understand the world or the way of understanding it. We don't know because the tinier the brain, the tinier the organism, the you know the different perception humanity have about them. But maybe there is a chain kind of knowledge that animals have with each other, a chain kind of other knowledge that a human being is not aware, because human beings have defined science like natural science in biology or biochemistry or whatever. We generalize things like the ecosystem. We have like the ecosystem. The ecosystem, we see only the food chain in how life support each other. That part, that bold kind of definition. But what if that shit is synchronized in a very mysterious and calculated way that if a human being understand, you're gonna say, no, these motherfuckers are smarter than us. Like they're not like you make stupid movies like human imagination is stupid and rough. And you see, I think we are not smart. Like there may be some kind of scientific assumption kind of, that's why they call it science fiction, like they they bring the dinosaur again and they make Jurassic Park, or they make a tarantula a big one, they it's all shrinking imagination or magnifying imagination is this white people imagination. But to me, if I was a movie script writer or something, I feel like, come on, people, there is some kind of this synchronization of nature, because this motherfuckers are mysterious. It's not normal. And I've seen a lot of horror movies, mysterious movies, like these children at school, this magic shit. They always holding this fucking besom, what do you call it, this to swipe the ground. This is old school. In everything you have in a carpet, or you know, or bending things with the power of the eyes, and kind of. But can you imagine the world is so fucking synchronized, and you have an assumption to write a script, some kind of a movie script, in understanding that what we call ecosystem is actually not a very intelligent thing by itself to sustain life. That, no, don't kill the rat because the snake has to survive, or don't kill the rat because on the rat there are organisms who live in that, or this kind of, the host and the parasitical, or the mutual beneficiary kind of relations of organisms. No, not that kind of ecosystem we take for granted when we talk of take care of nature, respect nature. No, that itself, what they do, how it's synchronized. What if it is more mysterious and more intelligent than human beings still don't understand? I don't give a fuck if you have PhD on biochemistry. I don't give a fuck. You are set to term things to see the minuscule, the smallest things of it all. That's what you're doing. The achievement of human life is just to shrink or to magnify. That is the understanding. And you know how I see science and achievement in human life is like you magnify something, or you want to see the smallest thing of some kind of organism or anything. That is about virus, that's about vaccine, that's about medicine, that's about studying the organism itself, everything. That's why you make microscopes, and to see the things you need periscope, or to magnify, or to make it closer to you, or to see. It has to do with these two kind of thing, you know. But I don't know which kind of science study if these people, this kind of creatures, they do things with intelligence. I mean, you see like the movies they make the trees, like these famous movies they make the fucking trees like they are walking, blah blah. In a human kind of story they make it like how trees are important, blah blah. To me it's like the way I imagine what I understand is like when you study some kind of subject. You are a closer school, you are a beginner, you are a child who go to school. Kind of imagination is the biggest movies we've ever saw. You know, we have a lot of science movies and the technological aspect of it. How speedy the future space shuttles could be, and how distance in time will be limited. You know, time travel, blah blah. But when you come to Earth, if you can imagine to put some kind of imagination of human beings to divert it from this kind of thing, and think about the ecology, the the synchronicity of nature, because this is one mystery that is just mind-blowing to me. I've seen a lot of mind-blowing stories of animals, because every animal have some kind of mind-blowing secret by itself, and what it projects and how it relates with other things, in how even the organism is designed to be what it is itself. Okay, you know. But and then all these creatures, in how they do, you can say, okay, birds have intelligent thing, they can navigate the north. This, you can separately talk about a specific animal, looking at their behavior, putting a camera on the mass, following the way of life, and you can just talk about a separate kind of story. But what if the synchronicity in the thing is not really like it's not separate from each other? It's just like they fucking tricking us. They fucking organized in such a manner. You may have, okay, then you may feel like some kind of funny cartoon movie, you know, Madagascar or whatever. You bring some creatures talking like human animation, make animation kind of human character, you give them, and you make laugh. But this is a serious story. You have some kind of little creature who cannot talk to you with a talk, with a language that you take for granted, that religious people, exaggerate the power of word and language, you know, because humanity, we have some kind of selfish notion about how we think is important. Like from a vocal cord, there is some kind of blood circulation, your heart pumps, you have a mind, you have intention, and you have human ways of then sound comes. Not only human beings do that, the parrots say what you say again, and they're small, but they imitate exactly what you tell them, or they have their own way of noise. Every animal have a noise. I'm not even that. That will be simplistic form of my understanding of it all. But what about the silent ones? The things that you think, nah, these are not, these are far from who I am, kind of thing. Even when you paint, you paint something that looks similar to you in your understanding. You know, or cuddly or something that you can hold on or something furry or something cute or adorable, you know, kind of things, dogs, cats, something that we domesticate, fleshy, big kind of things. But is that not mysterious? This cicada or something, this fucking shit. Is that not fucking mysterious? Mysterious to the point that it's only one creature that shows you that kind of they open a window for you, a secret to look at the world. To me, even just look, maybe Apple has nothing to do with anything, but I see even this part of the Apple or anything, anything, but not Apple, but a lot of things, a lot of fruits, vegetables, anything that that they that they resemble something. Even that is a big value. Is a clue to some kind of secret. Leave alone something so fucking obvious. I never heard people taking this shit serious. I'm not a reader. There may be a lot of stories on books. That's why people say read books. Reading is good because media cannot really display a lot of knowledge. Media and time is not enough. That's why people say read books. You know, I know the value of reading, but that's why I'm also selective to read. Like if people want to make online business, they read the Rich Dad Poor Dad, or if they want to talk politicians or politically smart kind of people, they say, read like this dude, you know, Animal Farm, the one who write Animal Farm kind of people, or, you know, kind of thing. It's just your preference or philosophy or psychological books or politics or whatever. But to me, this fucking mystery, when I see these mysterious things, I wish I study some kind of cinematography, had a patience, and I was engaged in this kind of stories when I'm young, like this fucking white people American dream. You know, I could conquer, I could conquer Hollywood. I could, no, not to take Grammy award, but just to change the fucking letters on that hill in Los Angeles itself, Hollywood. Because my imagination, I mean, you have to materialize it to make it a real movie and to make it deep is something that you have to master. You have to work your lifetime to achieve that. You cannot be something just from a blue, you know, except white people tamper with that thing to make you famous. But a real work is like, I know it takes a lifetime. And I say, man, where is done the movies? I never saw a movie like that. I mean, this. Have you ever seen that a movie that really emphasized on the vital contribution of creatures in how we are? Maybe it tamper with the religion. Maybe they don't say it, or then maybe religious and belief system are weakened. I mean, to me, it's not normal. It's not normal. A motherfuckers, motherfuckers, little creatures, feeding on the dead. Come on, like the metamorphose. Like there are a lot of things that are creeping like butterfly from the maggot, larva, pupae, that stage in the fly. It's not only them, but these ones show you a different story, a fucking different story. Among all these things that are defined like, class, phylum, when we are secondary students, they classify vertebrates, mammalians, and class, phylum, blah, blah. There are a lot of creatures on this kind of branch, and they see the age also, how they evolve to be what they are, and we're talking about millions and millions of years of things. We're talking about mind-blowing kind of story. You have all the secret world and human imagination using science and camera technique, and just writing a script of some kind of movie. This fucking white trash we saw in Hollywood. That's it. But this, to me, is an asset, a secret to the other metrics, to the other world, to the other world. Actually, for the most part, a repetition. I mean, they're telling you, you will be someday, you will be us, or you'll be a fucking turtle, or you'll be some fucking bird, you'll be something else. But the Indian one, the Asian thing is poor. If that is only the story of reincarnation, is like including the Buddhist people, like in the Tibetans, they say even when they select their children. I mean, to me, it may be they may have some kind of wisdom, but some kind of group of people, they have some kind of custom that they pick a baby and they say this dude is reincarnated from that dude. Imagine, to me, that is poor to me. I have to tell it. I'm not disrespecting, but that is poor poor kind of thing that don't convince me. And I have the right to feel what I feel. You know, maybe I'm not right. Maybe they know more than that about this thing. But I'm not talking about. But my perspective is too poor to see that thing, to see it that way. And moreover, the entire thing of reincarnation story, what I hear from Indians, that human beings, according to in how they perform in their first life, the afterlife, before, and we forget, but it's somewhere in the unconscious memory that only the memory is deleted. But we used to be something and we are something, but it has to do with a human race, what we call a human race, just to be that. Yeah, but me, no, no. I pause and I say, no, no, no. It's more than that. You know, if I see a fly, I may not say a human being turned to fly. Then it's elementary kind of imagination. No, I think everything is part of you, because you cannot compare just a human being and this complication with that kind of complication. I mean, that is obvious. You don't have to philosophize that, but it is part of you. I don't doubt. Anything that moves, anything, even a single mitochondria, a single thing, is part of you, part of the people who are dead a million times over. I don't know, because time here is not relevant to me. It's to the beginning of time. Time is not relevant to me. How substance things, whether you believe in Big Bang or whether you believe in retarded stories like they tell us, referring to their time frame and tricking when you ask them, telling you something else, like religious fucking blah blah, stupid people. But honest ones who tell you the vastness of time, because infinity is in us, we can feel it. We just don't know. We cannot grasp the gravity of the vastness and the fact that it's just a time frame that have no limit at all, kind of thing. And then the mind freezes. I mean, the only thing that a human mind cannot do is just imagining the fact that time is infinite. Time is infinite. The fact that this infinity, non-stop kind of thing, always stops human brain. I don't fuck if it is Kakur, Michu, or Bichu. I know his limit of thing will be limited day. Finito. Finito. To me, that is the ultimate secret of time. Is that time have no limit. You know what I mean? But for the rest, in this world, when a human brain stops and thinking that time is limitless, what the fuck? You see these things around you. Some of it looks like you, even some of it looks like some organ on you. And in plants, even prune a plant, even different plants, you confuse them, you can prune a plant and it can grow. And there is some creature in the sea that looks one kind of organ in you, or your nose, or your dick, or your pussy, or something. And it's so real. Things cannot get resemble like this. Even human beings, religious people, can relate a stupid cloud, kind of a cloud formation. Like if you are not a painter and you play with a paint, some kind of structure will show up, something that looks like a horse or a dog or anything. People who believe in that, and they bring it as an argument to make their thing of substance. And people don't see a well-made organism, a moving, breathing, eating kind of organism. Even the most uncomplicated kind of things in the deep blue ocean, how they fuck look like, how these strange fishes have a human kind of mouth. Some of them, they look like some kind of human beings, some kind of human facial structure, kind of things. You see, and you don't want to believe that. You just ignore this consumption, this thing. Let us ignore. It's like, that's why I say we are mass hypnotized. I don't know how to say, but to me, the shit, the shit is just. I mean, you can make some kind of unique kind of script in how these things are so intelligent, and human beings are not aware. Imagine that aspect of the imagination. Imagine that we see these things and we ignore them, and imagine a movie script that is out of that is making a human story out of other creatures, which is actually, this is my conviction so far. I tell you that everything is a part of me, and it's gonna be, there will be creatures that they're gonna be a part of me, the me I am, that I'm building, I'm consuming now. It's become part of me. Some I excrete, it comes back to society, but people don't see that their cabbage is just literally a shit, a poop, or their fucking broccoli is just a shit, because some kind of, there is a nitrogen fixation, and so the nitrogen get into the legumes, and this protein is what we call protein, you know, and the hydrogen in it. That kind of breaking down of things let you, but still the trace of a smell will stick there. If you cook cabbage in your house, it smell like poo, it smell like swage. And you know how in Western world, especially with this genetically modifying and feeding human organic kind of thing to plants and animals. I mean, you trace it, but you don't want to believe, or you think that is stupid, that is not really scientific, but it is. It is a fucking is. You know what I mean? It's so fucking is. You see a fucking egg making a skull on the placenta of a chicken kind of womb, when this potassium kind of hard skull mysteriously become, when it comes on and it become hard and it become an egg. You saw that shit. It is impossible without any fucking chemical reaction. Some kind of potassium thing come from the wall, it comes softer, and when it come out, it is a hard shell egg. I mean, you saw a lot of mystery in this fucking world, which you cannot deny, which you cannot fucking foul up with some kind of science definition. But what is the imagination to push humanity to understand the understanding of nature and its relation with it, rather than just generalizing, just take care of nature, the trees, they're the same like us. Blah, blah, blah. No, no, it is part of you. You're going to be part of it. There are a lot of things that I'm going to be part of, and the vice versa. Every fucking shit is synchronized in a very fucking mysterious way, to the point that they are showing you what you have to know. What you have to know. It's not normal when these fucking tiny motherfuckers, they come out after 17 fucking years, a noisy orgy like the 60s and white people orgy, and they die. It's not nothing. It is something. It is fucking something. Because everything they're feeding is a breakdown form of some organic and inorganic kind of thing. Some organic thing in this case, because they're eating minerals. You know, they're eating something that decomposes. Everything that decomposes. Everything. If everything have the same kind of DNA thing, and every very few minor kind of differences there is in what separates from this to that, what we call chromosome, because if you have 44 chromosome, you can change it with 44, blah blah. And science defy all that, and even now we are doing nasty story back in the laboratory, and white people know that. People who have the access, they know what kind of creatures they're making right now. Okay, what you want more, you want to know. And why they fucking limit our imagination? Why these stupid people monopolize the entire fucking, why they fucking monopolize the entire movie industry to make it so silly? Now even televisions just show us some kind of white people, some kind of movies again and again and again, and you have fucking Netflix. Before humanity open its horizon to see what's around it, even they bore you with the same thing, Armageddon or some kind of Texas movie, come and come and come, and you open up fucking Netflix, a new kind of junk, but not a really imagination of what it is. You tell me if this shit is something that I ignore. You fucking tell me. I cannot ignore, because this shit is scary, and even it's so tricky, especially for religious people. It's just a big blow, a big fucking blow in their fucking face. Because even the older civilization that we respect, that we talk about, like in the pyramid, you see, they were only displaying the bigger things, you know, not the smaller secrets, the smaller organisms. They don't tell us, but they're the most fucking mysterious ones. It's not normal. It's not fucking normal. We know bees and how they do the queen and the shit. We ignore all that story as if it's nothing. But how? It's you know, and humanity actually developed the same thing that we see in animals, because in humanity, we know when to start kingdoms, we know when to start queen, we the workers, blah blah. We know where to start. How kingdoms start is like this Egyptian story. It starts there or not. There's nothing prior to that. All these Western kings and queens, blah blah. The workers as are the bees. You know, I mean, these are the things that we do. They don't want us to concentrate in to know. Uh huh. What the fuck, man? Yeah. But anyway, this number 17, people, just look at anything that's number 17. Look at that. Look at that. What they wrote. And the only creatures that has to do with this number 17 is this. I saw cosmo things. What is in the cosmos that has nothing to do with this number 17? See it. It's on Google. Just look. Look, you have now an animal, some kind of insect, Archaea, or some kind of group and phylum kind of animals. And then you have the entire number 17 story in the entire human history. And I already tell you that to relate this in a time frame is not bollocks, because time, we design time because of happenings, because it becomes day, it becomes night. You are living time. So time framing of human beings is not bullshit. It's just real, because it has to do with season. It has to do with the matrix itself. That's why it's not just bullshit. Okay. So now our research is done without fallacy, without theoretical thing. The theory is a backed up, substantiated theory kind of thing we have. Now just go and look at 17, the number 17 in anything, but ignore those who are religious scripts and these things. You don't have to weigh them much. Weigh the numeric, the secret, the numeric the secret of the numerology itself, like in mathematics, you know, because that mathematics is just nature, but that is just proven thing. If that number 17, in how it gets tricked, and it has some kind of a specific character in how it does when you add prime numbers before number 17, and that's the only number that's prior to it, you add prime numbers, that it becomes 17, not other numbers, and then it's 100 something number, 153 or something, and you go on and on. You look at any kind of information that is natural to the number 17, not some kind of definition. It's evil number, and then it's mysterious. It's just legendary story, and then it don't know. It's philosophical. When you are a real researcher, you don't come out and tell people evil number, good number, the number. No, Don't make sense. This is a religious kind of retard people. No, you know what I mean? Substantiate. If you say some kind of number is evil, then you have to come up with something that is understandable for human brain. You see this number behaving this manner, in this manner, in this manner, in this manner, and evil things happen, and this thing, the ritualistic kind of thing. Like when I see these things, when I refer to that they feeding on the dead, I'm related to anything is feeding on the dead, because they life and death kind of understanding of this coexistence in time lapse. Why some have a longer span life in this fucking matrix and others not, even is not a big deal. If some creatures just be born and die, or something stays 1,000 years like Matusala or Abraham kind of legendary stories, it don't mean shit. What it matters is what the numbers behave according to our understanding of evil, so that evil, good is not important. It's philosophical what is evil and good. It's a cliche. It's not, it don't make sense. For real research, to me, it's like to see exactly the behavior in what it is, the number, you know, like geometrical things, the character of the number. And then you have a living creatures making some kind of ritual, and that kind of time process is important to me, niggas. It's fucking important. Don't think I'm I'm uh, I'm some kind of bozo stupid guy. No, the world is a fucking sharmuta idiot place to me. To me, the things that we ignore is something we live once. Why would I be involved in junks that people wrote? I mean, some kind of bitch ass bitch story, famous, famous written literature of all time. Look at the 50 of them. All human story. Nothing creativity, nothing. Even the science fictions are just one kind of thing. All science fictions, they have some kind of human achievement in what's gonna be. It's about Ray. No, I don't want to shoot. I want to kill with something that looks like you know, a gamma ray or a beta ray or something. The imagination is to me is childish. I mean, if we have another perspective of narrative, another way of looking at things, and because these things is something you see, is that normal for people? A tiny creature that you say they don't have a brain, the less the organism have cells and brain and system kind of system, digestive system or electrolyte system or nervous system or whatever, vertebra or not vertebra, you have definition in biology or not. This is this is some kind of linear in upfront. It's some kind of not really abstract form of understanding things, that maybe you don't need a very complicated kind of different kind of animals like a human to see the mystery of the world. No, what if a one cell organism and another 10 cell organism, billion cell organism, trillion cell organism, they are composed in a systematic manner that human beings didn't understand, because human beings understand either with language, either with own way of understanding, or either magnifying and shrinking things. Knowing the things stops human knowledge. Trying to know, trying to know, not knowing. Nobody knows shit. I mean, nobody knows shit. You go up, you sit in a space, you see dark, finito, you come back. Then you are Michoka talking shit, or whatever mathematician, he's smart, okay. You know what I mean? No. What if they keep us on the fucking earth and tell us what these motherfuckers are doing? They let us tell us, okay, let us tell us. Maybe we're not smart enough to articulate. Let us tell us what these tiny motherfuckers around us are doing. Or if they are part of anything that even has to do with the actual life that we had here in some kind of lifespan, because generation come and go, and their generation too. Anything that's generation, some are wiped out too, and they become part of the decomposed shit. Still, you are digging a fucking dinosaur bone, or not? And that's decomposed. The oil you use itself is organic decomposed shit. The oil that you're taking from the Earth's core. What you want more? What the fuck you want more? What the fuck you want more? All these mysterious shiny stones we call diamonds, blah blah blah. What is the fucking secret? You know, there's a lot of secrets and stories that are hijacked by some kind of retarded people to tell you a retarded story, so that even the things we see they don't want us to tell. For all our legendary stupid idiotic story you try to tell me, there is a living thing they tell me something. Behaving exactly like Europeans in the 60s is not normal to me. Maybe you think I'm a comedian, or or I don't know what they call it. Buffoon, a buffoon. I'm not buffoon. And Kuna and buffoon. You know, the buffoons and the coons are given some kind of retarded 3,000, 2,000 years book to discuss everything, and even in that book, their observation is there. But there are observations that they don't even wrote, which are so fucking mysterious beyond the recognition, beyond comprehension, you know, or very hard to comprehend. You know what I mean? One of it is this creature, and this creature is unmatched to anything, because the number they tell you is time frame. You know, they act on time frame, and that time frame is peculiar. Maybe there are animals who die as three, or maybe there are shooting stars, they come every 70 years. 70 years in your telling, because if you see the shooting stars from another dimension, then it's not 17 years for other creatures, for other, if there are any other things around the universe. These fuck white people, they already tell us some kind of a skinny Chinese or a Korean is an alien, because they make their eyes like these. They fucking starve them like East African children. That is the imagination they put. I think this is the assassination of human imagination. And they lie when they have a fucking place called Area 51, when they fucking fuck up things, they're gonna fucking tell you like, yeah, alien, every fucking hungry veteran old white man, he come and he lied to you. He lied to you. They lied to you to us 16 years, as if, oh, the government is lying to us, as if a fucking fat ass Kentucky Fried Chicken eating some kind of bitch gonna gonna defend us from an alien. Oh, they lying to us. The government is lying to us. Why they lie to you? The government is a dumbass. The only thing he has is Area 51 showing you that kind of thing. But if that anything that exists, the West, the biggest intelligence assassination is when the West really has some kind of narrative, and they already figure out how to imagine. That is the biggest assassination of human knowledge. They dare to do that because they don't different things. Imagine when in Western Hemisphere or anywhere else, it is an agreed upon thing. Like when we imagine aliens, we want to imagine this. In every coffee shop, they show you smoking marijuana. Just maybe a malnutrition, a kid with an Asian kid with malnutrition. That's what it is. A big skull or some kind of Asian eye kind of thing. Asian, but East African starved children with Asian skull. I don't know how to define that anyway, but you know what I mean? But do you know the magnitude how it dumps down human imagination, or actually even it can kill intelligent brain, because you be limited in how you draw the imagination. If there is anything like unidentified kind of things, they even the name is unidentified object. They call it an object. They need one black pimp from NASA and one some kind of red Indian pimp, Michokaku kind of pimps, because they're good at mathematics. They needed this kind of pimps, but now they come out even to play against how how Hollywood is silly. Even this black dude is telling how silly they are, because it's impossible what they're telling us and do. You know, even they're commenting on each other. But imagine the destruction of imagine. Imagine if you give a child a chance to learn a music instrument or to learn some kind of mechanics and robotics at early age. Imagine when he's 21 years old, how many imagination and creativity he may have. And what if you deprive, like you do in African children, you tell them a lot of theoretical stories, because they cannot imagine the physical thing, just learning applied science like physics, relative velocity, acceleration, blah blah, just on paper and pen, you know kind of story. Maybe there are brains who are smart enough, even that don't put them. That's why there are few intelligent children even from different places. You know what I mean? The same way you have to see it about imagination and truth. Imagine they monopolize truth like religion. They have one depiction, even they don't have different depiction of how alien could be. You know what I mean? The same way they have done to us what is around us, and they telling us is because it's a financial budget. I need budget. This motherfucker is hungry. This motherfucker a big lifestyle. Everybody want a budget from this, from that. It's all about that. They reduce human knowledge to paper money. What I understand, they reduce the most secretful human intelligence, which a human with this kind of consciousness and with this kind of metrics, you have one chance. And you better not fucking people limit your understanding of it all. You have religion, you have corrupt science kind of stream, corrupt movie industry, corrupt this, because it is hard to believe that there is only one imagination about a big story, because life in this universum is a big story. How we give them a chance to limit it with some kind of fucking shit? I see Asian people, they are flesh and blood. How you bring me a big East African skull or some kind of pyramid skull with Asian facial structure and a skinny shit, and you show me, is there any scientific kind of at least theoretical thing why you create that situation? Why you think that is the case? Why? What kind of scientific evidence you have? And all these people telling us, yeah, the government is hiding from us. What? Who is the government? Who is your government? When we talk about this kind of stories, your government is shit. He hung us some kind of fuel and engine and upper outer space. This is primary to how the world is vast. This domain shit. It is an achievement. I cannot say it's trash when I'm not a scientist like the mediocre course and shit. I don't know mathematics, you know. But I don't have to know that to imagine the complication of things, you know. You only get closer the more you know. That's it. Or you may feel like you get closer. Albert Einstein tell us, what I know is that I don't know. So, these bitch ass motherfuckers, why they limit our understanding? Why they monopolize everything and they spit on us? And I have to pay fucking $15 to watch some fucking white trash because that white motherfucker want to drive a fucking fancy car. He want to drive a fancy car, blah blah. Bitch ass shit, man. Anyway, man, I would agree, man. They even have recorded sound to make you parallel. You know? ወደ ሀገሬ ልመለስ አቡ ሽሽቅ እኮ وفي حاجة بشيء አዙረህ አገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ። people I found out በልጅነቴ ምን አይነት fucking stupid ወይ ምንም ኮንሰንትሬት ሳላረግ ነው እንዲያረጀው you know it's like what the fuck I mean you know my favorite የባህል ዘፋኝ እንትና ነው የጎንደር አዝማሪ ማለት ነው ቻላቸው አሸናፊ you know the best as it gets to the kind of generation a little bit older than us kind of generation ሽሽቅ ቸኮል look the words እንግዲህ ይው አዙረህ አገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ። እስቲ እንደኔ የሙዚቃ ሊሪካል ኳሊቲን እፈለፍላለው የሚል ከሮያል ቤት ይምጣ ከሴተኛ ዳሪ ቤት ይውጣ እጅን አውጣ እናት ተበዳጅ ይቆረጥ ነው የምለው እንደዛ ፋክን እንደዛ ዳይመንድ ብላ ብላ white people movie you know what I mean oh my god I mean check out this lyrical quality you know what she's saying it's just like you people educated so-called intellectual people when you talk of this animal farm kind of book by this writer you see it's 70 years ahead of time or it is timeless because it refers to human kind of governance they refer to this kind of leadership in places and spaces imagine the lyrical quality of Amharic language ይሄ አማርኛን የሚጠሉ ሰዎች እኔ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የተደረገው ትልቅ ብልግና በቀለ ገርባ ሳይከፍል አማርኛ መማሩ ነው ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ችግሩ በነፃ መማራቸውን ትልቁ ነገር ነው እኔም ማንንም ፍሪሪት አሁን በዚህ በጥላቻ የተፈለፈሉ ትውልዶችን እንዲህ አይነት አፕሮች እንደሌላ አውቃለሁ I know just they have to listen they have to learn they have to have patience as much we have to learn Oromiya like I have to know Oromiya what is the secret not with exaggeration and check this out anti sharmutalish conquer la halopa dorlopa free sometimes they come on my door and they make noise only on my door he's talking this fucking pig get the fuck out man there are a lot of ways they use to approach you you know because I don't fuck around in seeking attention with these idiot people check this out የስጋ ጌቱ ቋሚ ተቆጣ አዙረህ አገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ I mean to me this is a book to me this imagine this woman some 18 90 years ago or some 70 60 years ago or some I don't know how old that thing is with an instrument called Ethiopian instrument called the Masinko, which they call the Semitic people, us, Amara, this Masinko. She say, Azura Hagari Melusing. Two linear, two lines. Azura Hagari Melusing. Beshum Yetazaza Afar Atalbising. There is a protest, you know, there is a protest kind of thing in it. She's protesting. It's purely protest. You see? Azura agreement listening. Beshum yaltazaza afarat talbising. Shum mendino. Shum, you know. Shum is like in her ages, maybe fitarari or some kind of governance she's talking about. She's talking about leadership. She's talking about social status order. Azura agreement listening. Now, when she said this, she's not empowered. Rather, she is a third kind of subject, a third kind of character, not even ትእዛዝ ተቀባይ አይደለችም. Because she's saying to a third kind of party she's talking about. She's saying azura hagari መልሰኝ በሹም. She's talking about the pyramid high. She's talking about የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ. Look how they formulate lyrics. Look what Amharic is. I don't think I'm Amhara or anything Amhara. You know, I wish I was Amhara. You know what I mean? Looking at me, I think I'm mixed up and messed up because so galano Muslim. I don't care, you know. We Ethiopians. Never. But you feel me? I'll do little as the lyrical quality. Azura Hagari መልሰኝ. Imagine ሴትዮ አርበኛ ሆና አጠገቧ ላለው የሆነ አዝማች ነገር እየተናገረች ቢሆን, you know, this imagination. We create a lot of scenario. ብዙ አይነት ሴናሪዎች ፈጥረን እስቲ ዳይሴክት እናርገው። ሁለት ሴንቴንስ ነው ለኔ ምንም መጽሐፍ የሀገሬ ሰዎችን ለማዋራት አንድ አልበም ላይ አንድ ዘፋኝ ሁለት የተናገረችው እንትን በቂ ነው ለኔ። Azura ሀገሬ መልሰኝ plus the sweetness of the words. Azura ሀገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ. Imagine ሰዎች ላይ ከጀርባቸው ደባ ሲጠነሰስ በእንዲህ አይነት lyrical quality protest ቢያደርጉ. Because she referred to the soil that you are ready to bury her with. በሹም ነው የታዘዘው። ይሄ ነገር ብዙ ነገሮች ለምሳሌ ራስን እንደ ወታደር አይተ ብታይና ትክክለኛ ላልሆነ ኮዝ ብትሄድ፣ አሁን ለምሳሌ አንዳርጋቸው ጽጌ ዛሬ ባንዲራ አቃጥል ሲል አሜሪካኖች ባንዲራ አቃጥል በላቸው ብሎ የላኩት ሰው ነው ለኔ I think the Americans themselves, they tell him we have some kind of nasty operation. We tell the Egyptian military in the Sudan, you know what we arrange. So አንዳርጋቸው ጽጌ, you know, we take down this senior blah blah people and we created this political situation so that we come back and tell you why the fuck you did it anyway. So please, would you please, would you please organize some kind of people to burn American flag so that we blow it up, so that we fuck the place up, kind of thing. I'm not joking, people. You have to learn how to understand me in my narrative. It will help you, and you get it for fucking free. Any motherfucker who watch my video, they're profiting from me, including the English episode. Listen what she said. You see, agree. Azura ሀገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ. She's saying በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር ምንድን ነው? It's a premeditated meditated thing that you take part in for your demise. You know that there is a third party ordering someone, you know, with a consent, or but this one is protest because there is no consent, because the woman clearly stated there is no consent. I don't want to fucking be taken somewhere. I don't want to take part in something that is ordered by your chief, by your boss. You know, there is a thing called in America, shum. Shum is የተሾመ ማለት ነው. One on power, one who is appointed, anointed, one not anointed in a sense of kingship, but you know, a warlord or something. Like Abiy Ahmed የጭቃ ሹም ነው፣ ሹም ነው። አሁን ለምሳሌ እንበል ሹም ቢሆን እና ባለጌ ሴተኛ ዳሪ ልጅ ከሆነ አገሩን በሲስተም እያለቃቀሰ በትኖ መሄድ ያለበት ሰው ከሆነ እኔ ነኝ አስተማሪያችሁ፣ የፖለቲካ ሳይንስ እኔ ነኝ ማስተምራችሁ፣ እናንተ ልጋጋሞች ከሃዲዎች ካልሆናችሁ ማለት ነው። ከዚህ በላይ ምን ሊሪኳል ኳሊቲ አለ? እኔ አንድ የፈረንጅ መጽሐፍ እያነበብክ ይሄኛው አሳማ ይሄኛው ነው ካራክተራቸው ይሄው ይሄኛው አቃጣሪ ነው አዙረህ ሀገሪ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ። this is the quality of Amharic. you see እንዴት እንደሚገልጹት በደባ መገደል። ለምሳሌ imagine General Asaምነው ጽጌ, bring General Asaምነው ጽጌ as a character in these two alineas, in these two kind of words. You find him taking a character as the woman, as the singer in this case, because he's going to say azura ሀገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ, because his death is caused by some kind of conspiracy ordered by a leader. And this song is 100 years old. It can work for any kind of political conspiracy. If it is financial embezzlement, it can be, and you can relate this specific story to anything that is written to imply how things work in the hierarchy, especially rotten things, corrupt things, you know. But in this case, it is specifically about protesting or not to accept to take part in something that devour you, that takes your life. Because the coffin dealer, you know, the coffin dealer or the grave digger, not Fukre Tolosa story I'm talking about, is the one who is the shoe. Because አፈሩ ነው አገላለጹ አገነ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር አታልብሰኝ፣ አፈሩ ነው በሹም የታዘዘ። እዚህ ጋር ግን አፈር ማልበስ የሚለው ከምን ጋር ነው የሚገናኘው? ተክል ተክለህም አፈር ታለብሳል፣ ችግኝ ተተክሎ አፈር ይለበሳል። ግን አፈር ማልበስ in this context ስለማን እያወራች ነው? ሞትን ነው ሪፈር የምታደርገው። she's referring to death, she's referring to the end of life, but not with her consent, that she is aware prior to. She's aware of the conspiracy. You see? She's aware of the conspiracy that is coming. አዙረህ ሀገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ, the one saying the Abiy Ahmed and the conspiracy above him. በሹም የታዘዘ the old Sina, you remember the pyramid? አፈር አታልብሰኝ. So when she protests the possible outcome, the victimhood, she knows the perpetrator, and she's telling, you know, the person that she's talking to, using this lyrical quality, that she know who perpetrate things. So when you let me work hard and fuck around in the entire fucking place, please make sure that you bring me back home, but not 6 feet underground. Don't put me 6 feet underground. That is ordered by the chief, the scum. She's telling that. አዙርህ ሀገር ይመልሰኝ፣ በሹም የታዘዘ አፍራት ይመልሰኝ። በሹም የታዘዘ አፈር የለበሱ ብዙ ሰዎች አሉ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ። and you can translate it to in a million ways. Even you can talk of corruption, only you have to switch the thing. you know አፈር ማልበስ የሚለውም ሌላ ደግሞ እንትን መለወጥ ነው። እንዲህ ይህን መማት ይህን በቀለ ገርባ የሚባለው አር ማለት ነው። ይህን በነፃ ነው የተማረው። አማርኛ ይችላል ግን በነፃ ነው የተማረው ማለት ነው። አማርኛ ለምንድን ነው እሱ ከሱ በላይ ሲሰቃይ የነበረ የአማራ ህዝብ ወንጀለኛ ከሚል በነፃ ለነገሩ አልገባውም። ስለዚህ በከፈለ እንኳን አትለው is a failed student ምን ታረጋዋል? እዚህ ሀገር ሜርሲ የላቸው። ደንቆረ ከትምህርት ቤት ከወጣ ተከፍላለ ከወሰድክበት። ያ ማዳፋከር እዛ እስር ቤት ውስጥ ብር ሁሉ መጠየቅ አለበት ከነዚህ ወንበዴዎች። አይደለም ምስኪን ሰው ሊያስጨርሱ ሊያስገድሉ አይደለም ብር መክፈል አለባቸው ለተማሩት ከባድ ቋንቋ ፍሪ ቋንቋ የኛ አይደለም ካል እኛ ስለ አማርኛና ስለ ኢትዮጵያውያን ማንነት ያለን አስተሳሰብ ለየት ቢ is that beautiful people go on. That's why yesterday I tell you man this is look አዙራ አገሬ መልሰኝ በሹም የታዘዘ አፈራት ታልብሰኝ። is that not a beautiful protest? yo እሪ ይላል እንጂ ምስለኔ አይዋጋም። እንዴት ነሽ ሀገሪ የታጠርሽው ባጋም። እንደዚህ ስትል ሲሲቀዝኖ የራሻ ያለው ሌፍት ኦቨር ለሱዳን ሰጠ ምናምን አሉ። ጨዋታ እየተጫወቱ ነው እዛ። ከዛ የኛ ጋዜጠኞች ተነስቶ ግድቡ እንዲሉ ማለት ነው። እየተመጋገቡ እንክት አደረጉት የኢትዮጵያን ህዝብ መንፈስ ማለት ነው። and then it follows ይሄ እንግዲህ እንጉርጉሩ ሽለላን የሚባለው ነው። ግን ሽለላው የኢትዮጵያ የአማርኛ ሽለላ is not literally heroism like በትግርኛ እንበር ተጋዳላይ አይደለም አይደለም። I know all the lyrics they say in ትግርኛ thing even በአማርኛ ሽለላ ውስጥ ኮንቴንት አለ፣ ፖኤቲክ ኮንቴንቶች አሉ፣ ሌላ ሰብጀክቶችን የሚዳስሱ ሰው እንደ አሜሪካ ወታደር ብሎ አይደለም ማርች የሚያደርገው። Ethiopians are thinkers. It's just like philosophers and thinkers just to go for to go about for a battle because እንጉርጉሯቸው ግደል ብላ ብላ ላይ ብቻ አይደለም የሚንጠለጠለው። These are the old school lyrical qualities I'm talking about. እሪ ይላል እንጂ ምስለኔ አይዋጋም እንድንሻገር የታጠርሽው ባጋም የሚለውን ደግሞ ይውል። ምስለኔ ማለት ምን ማለት ነው? ምስለኔ ታውቃላችሁ just third party የሆነ ጫሂ ተወካይ ማለት ነው፣ ትራሽ ማለት ነው። ምስለኔ ማለት is not the real subject, is not the real deal። ምስለኔ የሚባለው ማለት ነው on behalf of something የሚጮህ ማለት ነው። ቁራ ይጮሃል እንጂ አይዋጋም። ግን እንድንሽ ሀገሬ የታጠርሽው ባጋም። She's referring to the children of Ethiopia. She's it's so fucking rebellious, it's so fucking poetic, it's so fucking I mean come on man, this is a lyrical quality. This oh my god. እሪ ይላል እንጂ ምስለኔ አይዋጋም እንድንሽ ሀገሬ የታጠርሽው ባጋም። you see agam shokal, you know, agam shokal. When you want to pick every kind of cherries and berries, you have to get boom, you'll be stung. You know what I mean? So agam, aga, manam, when they're talking about the thorns, you know, they're talking about thorns. To talk about thorns is like the obstacles. When she referred to the obstacles, እያለች ያለችው ሴትዮዋ ኢትዮጵያኖች በእንደዛ አይነት ነገር ሃይራርኪ ሳይሆን ሀገሩ ስትል she referred to the people. She's referring to the people and the land. አጋም ስትል የምትበላው ስለ ፍራፍሬ እያወራች እንዳይመስል የታጠረው በሾክ ነው። ሁሉ በጣም የሚዋጋ ነገር አለ ማለት ነው። ሁሉ ነገር ይወጋሃል። you see የሚጮኸውን አይደለም የምታየው። you see እሪ ይላል እንጂ ምስለኔ አይዋጋም። እንዲንሽ ሀገሬ የታጠርሽው በአጋም። She's referring to the quality of people in her storytelling. When I say her storytelling, she's talking about heroism that any enemy can encounter. Not a trampoline. He's not gonna fucking jump on sponge when he enter Ethiopian thing, because everything is a thorn. Everything is a hook. You know, everything is fixed and thorns. You see, there's no easy meal down there because everybody's hungry. Everybody, you know. I somehow come out of the story, but I'm explaining to you. You know, it's not the noisy one that fights. It is the entire situation that is difficult. The obstacle is every fucking corner. And she referred to her country. And there is a positive attitude towards referring to her country, because in this case, she's telling you, my country is guarded by thorns. She's referring to the people of different kind of obstacle they can be, and the terrain. Usually when they say Hagri and referring to the Hagri, and if they consider there is obstacle to any kind of enemy, she's referring to that. It's not an easy meal. You know, it's messy, is everywhere is, you know, fixed and thorns, obstacles. But you see, imagine Rila Linji, she's talking about this you know, bluff, people who bluff, people who are noisy, but when it comes to action, they are not round day kind of thing. You know, Miss Lenny, she called them Miss Lenny. Miss Lenny, ምንድን ያለችው? ይጮሃል እንጂ እሪ ይላል እንጂ ምስለኔ አይዋጋም። You see, ምስለኔ is not a thorn, it's just a mouth, it's just blah blah blah. እንዲነሽ ሀገሬ, and she just in a lovely way, she rely upon the country, she rely upon the things she knows, she rely upon who she is and where she come from. She don't rely upon some kind of the upper part of social structure. The entire story is a protest. There is protest in it. It's deeper than that, but it is the protest part that is, you know, what ablo mtayo he ተቃውሞ protest ማረጉ እሱ ነው ያለው ውስጡ ገብቷቸዋል። እሪ ይላል እንጂ ይሄ የሚጮህ የፖለቲካል ፓርቲ ምናምን ሰው ያሰለፈ ይጮሃል እንጂ እነሱ ህዝብ ጋይዳ ያርገው አያውቁ። እነዚህ በክቶች ማለት ናቸው። ህዝቡ ሊረዳው የማይችለውስ ነገር ይከቱታል። የሆነ ነገር የተላኩበትን ነገር ለማለት ምስለኔዎች ናቸው ሁሉም in general. even አብይ ዘ ምስለኔ for something else, you know, ምስለኔ depends. አንድ ሰው የተቃረነውን ሰው አንዱን ውሻውን የሱ እኩያውን ውሻውን ብቻ ነው የሚጮጨው። አንድ የሆነ የሚጮህ የራዲዮ ውሻ ካለ ያ የሚጮህን የራዲዮ ውሻ ሲነክሰው ነው የምታየው። አገር ውስጥም ባለስልጣን ነኝ የተባለው ያኛውን ሲነክሰው ነው የምታየው። መነካከስ ነው እንዳበደ አይጥ እንዳበደ ውሻ። ሬዲዮዎቹ ራሳቸው መነካከስ ነው፣ ሁሉም መነካከስ ነው። you see so in their level ሁሉም ምስለኔዎች ናቸው። እሪ ይላል እንጂ ምስለኔ አይዋጋም ትልና but she rely upon something that she's a member of, that is in the very nation, in the nationhood. For her is not leadership in these lyrics. you see እሪ ይላል እንጂ ምስለኔ አይዋጋም እንድነሽ ሀገር እየታዋጋም motherfucker, everything will sting you, it's not easy meal እያለች ነው። you see oh my god የሲጋይዴቱ ቋሚ በቁጥር. Now she referring to these places that she's a part of. Now maybe not powerful enough, but in then I think this rebellious kind of heroic people come out from this northern Showa region she's referring to, and she say Kwami Bakutar is like the people who are real, the people, the defenders are just few in numbers. That's what the defenders are few in numbers. That's she's referring to. You know, Kwami Bakutar. Kwami is not referring to the dead and the alive. ስለሞቱትና ስለሚኖሩ ሳይሆን በቁማቸው የሞቱ ሚል የአማርኛ ንግግር አለ። በቁሙ የሞተ you know. So if you are not heroic but you are noisy or whatever, when this woman is encouraging you to be a real man, she's telling she's not referring it literally, but she's telling you the heroes, the few heroes that she push you to be one of those who come up front when there is a need, you know. The if need be's are very few, you know, but she tell places everywhere. She tell the quality of the thorns. The thorns in this case is the humans. She's the hero humans, the ones who become obstacle for any motherfucker who intrude kind of thing. ሰፈራቸውን ትጠራለች። መንዚዎች ናቸው እንዲህ ናቸው ትልና ተጠራና ጀግኖችን እያነሳሳች ነው። ግን yeah, these are places, all dangerous places. ቋሚዎች ነው የምትላቸው, the defenders of, you know, her temple, you know. Go, she should go. Oh shit. Go. አረብና ጋላ ቀዘነብ ሁሱም And in this one, she's a mother. She's a mother. And in this kind of in these two sentences, she is a mother. She is a mother that she is responding to the rumors of underestimation of who she is, how heroic she is, that even the valuable son, her valuable son, she don't appreciate when he's pussy. No, I don't like when he back off, when he's disrespected. She wants him to stand for his right, you know. እኔ እናቱ ነኝ ወይ ሲሻሽ የምወደው ነው የምትለው, you know what I mean. And then she say And then she said, no, she said something. I skipped. You see? And the rest is what you know. This thing, these two sentences that she say after, it is in every song. This is one of a sentences that is picked and sung by a lot of artists till this day. You know, የወንድ ልጅና ታጠቂ በገመድ ልጅሽን አሞራ እንጂ አያቀብረውም ዘመድ. It's like this is a final countdown that she's referring to death, which is why military, even in the Western lingua, even why military is named after corpse. The corpse are dead. You are dead when you are a soldier. You know you're gonna die. Amharic have it a long time ago. That's why they are jealous and they say these are military people. Long after we are not military no more. We make a country that every kind of people, they take part in everything. That's why they say it's a military that make this country, that make a country instead of insulting people. Who you say make a country, with force or with love? We don't give a fuck. ሳትከፍል የተማርከውን አማርኛ ግን በጣም ደስ የሚል ቋንቋ መሆኑን ይናገራል። I'm not claiming ownership. It's silly to claim ownership in lingua, you know what I mean? But there is some kind of truth, you know. ታጠቂ በገመድ ልጅሽን አሞራ እንጂ አቀብረውን ዘመድ is like Amharic have the word corpse referring to soldiers. Then it is decided. Now she's referring to Destu as a part kind of struggle. She's initiating. She's just this strong African woman, East African Habesha woman, telling all the children, including hers, that their death or victory, corpse, she named them corpse, eagles. The funeral procession will be held by the eagles, not by humans, because you'll be dead somewhere. When they talk like this, they are not scaring, they're telling you, you corpse. እንደዚህ ነው የሚያነሳሱት ማለት ነው። ይሄ በጣም ፌመስ ስለሆነ ተንተንማል። እኔ በጣም መሰነተው እንዲህ ነው። ሂጅበት እናታችሁ ትበደ። ወንድ ልጅ ፊኒት ወንድ ልጅ ሚስጥሩን ለሴት ከነገረ እንደሞተ ይቁጠር እንደተቀበረ ትላለች። at the same time አማርኛ ላይ ምን አለ መሰላችሁ? ልክ በውጭም እንደሚባል ከጠንካራ ወንድ ጀርባ ጥሩ ሴት አለች ይላሉ ፈረንጆቹ። ምን እንደዚህ ይላሉ። actually translated እንትን ነው። በአማርኛ ብዙ አይነት ንግግሮች ሊኖሩ ይችላሉ። እዚህ ጋር ግን she refers to determination because she is the advisor. She is the woman, she's the mother, she's the sister, but she's advising. ወንድ ልጅ ሚስጥሩን ለሴት ከነገረ, because usually mothers tell to their sons to choose what kind of female. You see, this is humanity in the trickery and in the beauty of language is that, in how nature is. Because a mother is a female, but when she have a son, she advises her son to be careful of poisonous female when she's a female, you know. She's a mother, but she's advising. But in this case, we are not talking about some kind of family affair kind of thing. No. You see, she's a mother. She's the one who's saying it. ወንድ ልጅ ሚስጥሩን ለሴት ከነገረ እንደሞተ ይቁጠር እንደተቀበረ። Finito. You're no more man. You're no more a man. You see? But the subject, ተናጋሪዋ ራሷ ግን ሴት ነች። ገብቷቸው ሽሽክ ቸኮሎ እንዳደለች ሰምታቸው። this one Oh, this one is tough. People, listen. በጉንፋን ደበደቡኝ፣ ወገቤን ሰበሩኝ። ቪዲዮ እንዳልሰራ ነው። እኔ ግን አላቆምኩም። አሁን ወደ ጭንቅላቴ እየሄደ ነው ሙቀቱ ማለት ነው። ጉንፋን ደግሞ ለከፉ። አዎ ሂጂበት። ኦ ማይ ጋድ የሀሳብና የጅብ ሌሊት ነው ጉልበቱ። ቀንማ ሌላ ነው አድረው ሲጫወቱ አይነት ነገር ነው ነገርየው። ገብቷችኋል? people plan gigantic things when they're sleeping, when they're sitting. I dream like, man, I have to be as rich as Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. But then I don't wake up in the morning even to fetch $50 a day. Kind of human kind of character she's referring to. But the heaviness of her poetic, the poetic, thing is unbearable. አማርኛ በጣም የሚጣፍጠኝ ለዛ ነው። በጣም የሚጣፍጥ ቋንቋ ነው። ምድር ውሻ በጥላቻ የተነጀው ውሻ ልጅ በነፃ መማር ያለበት ቋንቋ አልነበረም። አፍሪካ ሆነና ህዝቡን በአንድ ሺህ ዓመት ምናምን ስላደነቆሩት we don't know how to sell things. አይደለም ሊረገም ሊሰደብ እና ይሄን ቋንቋ አስርሱት ሊባል አይደለም። አንድ ጄኔሬሽን ከፍለ መማር የነበረብን ነገር አለ። ከፍለ እንደም እንደከፍለው አፎርድ እንዳታረገው የምትጓጓበት ነገር መሆን ያለብን ነገር ታሪክ ባለጌ ነውና things unfold in the way they are, we are where we are. Where language group and a language is demonized too. It's not normal. Go, Shishik. Sister, go. Go. Yaman. አረተው አይሆንም ሰው በተኛበት መደንዘዣ አርጎ የሰው ወገብ መስበር ወንድ አያስብልም። ሰው እንዳያወራ በጉንፋን ማስለከፍ ሰው አያስብልም። ሲል ውሃው ላይ ምን መክተት ወንድ አያስብልም። ሰው ከቤት ሲወጣ ወጡ ላይ ድስቱ ላይ እንዲመገላለግ እንዳያስብልም ትላለች ምድረ ቡሽቲ ወንድ ሀገር ሸርሙጣ ልጁላ ማለት ነው። ይሄ ለነዚህ ባስታርዶችና ለተላላኪዎቻቸው የሚሰራ ነገር ነው። Go girl. ልታስፈታኝ ምን ነው? You see? እኔስ የታሰርኩት ውሉ ጠፍቶብኝ ነው። ብታስፈታኝ ምን ነው? Then she concluded the song by telling the man the part that bigger lion share that he should take as lioness she is, because this story is the lion's den story. It's not a bitch up subverted story of killers and assassins who are proud, who have a political aim by killing innocent people. No, this is the story of the lion's den. If the lion's den still exists, I'm not talking about, when I'm talking all about this shit, I'm not talking about today's story, or if today Amhara people are this, these people are this. No, it is in Amharic, but I know this was the story of the lion's den. and the lioness was narrating the story. This is the narration of the lioness. The most beautiful things, just some kind of 2 paragraphs of a lyrics, a poetic lyrics that amounts to at least 10, 15 large volume books of some kind of Western trash to refer to some kind of corrupt, idiotic kind of group of elite. I need this to explain everything. Finito, 2 minutes of a song. This is the story of the lion's den, and this is the lioness narrating the story. The narration is to the lioness. That is the Ethiopia I used to know. That was the character of people. That is how they see things around them. The power that be, the people they communicate with, the expectation they have from their male. But the intellectual part is herself, because she is shaping a perception. She is telling you how you should be, what the situation is. The intelligence is in her. You see, usually who take charge in taking down big things is the lioness, who's always trying to fight. It's maybe 10-5%. You see the lion, order in the feeding order, and the thing is for him, but the action is usually her. The intelligence, the design, the shit is for her. You see? That's why when I tell you the lion's den resembles our fucking story, I was telling you a fucking truth. Tabada fucking jihadist na alabo. This fucking bearded jihadist, they come with posting in cars. This is how they act. They come and they stand in front of my door. Tabada motherfucker. You know what I mean? This is how they communicate with you. This is that system. This is how they expose you to everything that can affect you. I'm just making YouTube on my video. They make stories. They make tragic stories. Look at me stories. It's not paranoia. It's not schizophrenia. This is something that they do. I'm telling you to the whole world on my YouTube channel. Yeah, see? You see? So this was Shishik Chaku. But when I'm talking about this in translate Yarakun, Bamako Bamrada Sinagrachu, I'm talking about what it was, not what it is now. On Amara Mibalo regional state, በጭቃሹ ሞንካ በምን መሰለ የሆነ እስከሞች የሰው ልጅ ዝቃጭ በቃ ቆሻሻዎች ናቸው። በእንደዚህ አይነት ነገር ናሬት መደረግ የሚችል ዓለም አይደለም። በቃ ዓለሙ ተቀይሯል። እና አንድ ቴዎድሮስ ጸጋዬ አይነት ሰው ያንን የድሮ ልክ የኃይለ ሥላሴ ዘመን ሬዲዮ አድርጎ ሲያወራ it doesn't make sense. Anyway, people can be attracted to things like that. ሌቭላቸውን የጠበቁ ኤክስፔክት ስለሚያደርግ ጥሩ አማርኛ ጽድት ያለ ድሮ አማርኛ ምናምን። እኔ ግን ይሄን ነገር ሳስረዳ ዘመኑ ብዬ ነው የምናገር። አሁን እንደዚህ ማውራትም አልችልም። ለማን እንዲህ ብዬ ማውራው? ላገኘው ተሻገር፣ ለመለስ ዜናዊ፣ ለጌታቸው ረዳ ነው እንዲህ በእንዲህ አይነት ነገር የምናወራው? ይሄንንስ ነገር ፕሮፌሰር ጌታቸው የሚባለው የፊሎሶፊ አስተማሪ ይሄ አደረባይ እሱ ስለነዚህ እንዲያወራልን እንፈልጋለሁ። ከሱ እኔ ራሴ ባወራው ይሻላል። ኢቭን እንደዚህ አይነት ነገሮች በአንድ በቆሻሻዎች ተላላኪ ነው እንዲህ አይነት ትላልቅ ነገሮች የሚነገሩ። ነገሩ ሁሉ የተበላሸ ቆሻሻ ነገር ነው። ስለዚህ የኛ እናት ልብዳ ቡሽቲ ተበዳ ምናምን በጣም ቆንጆ ነው። ጊዜውን የሚመጥን ነው መሆን ያለብን። ጊዜውን መመጠን አለብን። ምንም ሂል አታረግም። አንተ ብቻ እንደሞኝ እንዲተለጠፈ እንደነሱ ውሸት ላይ እስቲ አስቡ የሽመልስ ተላላኪ ሆነ የአብይ ተላላኪ ሆነ ስለ ፖለቲክስ ስለ መጽሐፍ ስለ ጽነ ጽሁፍ ትልቅነት ማንም አራት መቶ የቀባጠረውን እያዳነክ ምናምን ብታወራ ምን ዱ ሜክ ሴንስ በቃ they don't make sense because environment እሱ መሽተት አለብን ለዛ ትግስት እንዲኖር እነሱን ይመጥናቸው ቡሽቲ እናት ተበዳንት ሸርሙጣ ልጅ ምናምን ነው ፊት የሚያርጋቸው በዛ መልኩ መግባባት አለብን ለተሰራልን ዓለም በዛ መልኩ መግባባት አለብን ቢቻል ከዛም ወረስት መሆን አለበት in how we approach these people by the way discussion ሰምቻለሁ አብዛኞቻችሁ ሙስጠፌ ከበደ ስትሉ ሰምቻለሁና ክርስቲያን ዛደልና እኔ የኤሌክሽን ወሬ ምና እየሰማ አይደል it's not relevant to me I don't give a fuck ግን አክሲደንታሊ ሁለት ኢንትረስቲንግ የሆነ ስቶሪ ስለነበረ ሙስጠፌን ስላካተተ ነገርየው ሰምቻለሁ ሙስጠፌ the worst የሚለው ሪጂም ተገሸሸ በሚባልበት እንትሩስ መታቀፍ ነበርበት ምንም ቾይዝ የለውም ነበር ያንን ታቃላችሁ ሙስጠፋው ለብልጽግና ከመስራት ሌላ ምን የሚሰራበት ሪያሊቲ ላይ እንዲሆን ኤክስፔክት አደርጋለሁ but I don't deny ሙስጠፋ ያለበት ኦርጋኒዝም ሮተን ኦርጋኒዝም ሙስጠፋ he's not lucky በዚህ ዘመን ተወልዶ ያ ሶማሌ ስቴት ሪጂናል ስቴት አስተዳዳሪ መሆኑ አሁን ላለው ለውጥ ላመጣው ለውጥ ጠቀመ you see ሰውየው ጠቀመ ግን ሰውየው በዚህ ዘመንና በባለጌ ጋሎች መታጠሩ እና የተማሩ ጽድት ያሉ ኦሮሞዎች ኮሊጎቹ እውነተኛ ኢትዮጵያኖች ኮሊጎቹ ሆነው ቢሆን ኖሮ እኛም አንፈልግም እኛም ቪዲዮ ውስጥ መታየት የለበትም ነበር ግን ባለጌ መድዴ ነፍሰ ገዳይ ተላላኪ ውሻዎች ማለት ነው ሰው ወጣት ሰዎች እንትን ላይ ይገደሉ ማለት ነው በፌስቡካቸው የሚለጥፉ አሜን ብዙዎቻችሁ ተናግራችሁታል ይሄን እንኳን እንደው የናንተም ስቴትመንት ስለሆነ ማይን ብያላወራው ይሄ ደግሞ ከስቅላቱም ይባሰ ነው ይሄ ደግሞ ለይት ያለ ነው እያስለፈለፉ ነው ወስደው የሚደፉ እና ፌስቡካቸው ላይ የሚለጥፉ ከነዚህ አራማች ጋር ራስም እኮ ይውላችሁ ይሄ አንዳንድ ነገር አሁን ሙስጠፋ የዛ ክርክር ላይ ምን እንዲላችሁ ነው ወጡ አይ ይሄ የተበዳይ ቡሽቲ ድርጅት ነው ምን አባቴ ላር ግን እኔ የኔን አይውልኛ የኔን ይው እንግዲህ አሻሽያለሁ ይላል ምን ያርግ ታዲያ ልጆቹን ሁሉ ጥብጥና አድርጎ ባለው ሀገሩ እንትን ብሎ አሳምሮ ቁጭ ብሏል ሰውዩ ነፍስ አይገደልም ነፍስ አይጠፋ ጨዋ ሰው ነው ኦኬ ሶማሌ ሪጂናል ስቴትን ማስተዳደሩ ደግሞ ምንም አይገርም የተማረ ነው ሶማሌ ነው ታዲያ ማን ያስተዳድራል እሱን አይደል ካፒታላይዝ አድርገው አገሩን ኤትኒካሊ ዲቫይድ ያደርጉት ጨዋዎች እንዳያስተዳድሩ ጨዋዎችን ሁሉ ይዘው ነገሩን እንደዚህ አባርቶ ማለት ነው እነዚህ ተንኮለኛ ባለጌ ልጆች ማለት ነው እነዚህ የኦሮሞ ብልጽግና ይባሉትና እነዚህ ካንከር ተላላኪዎች ማለት ናቸው እና አንዳንድ ሰዎች የማይሆን አርጊመንት ውስጥ ገባላችሁ የሙስጠፌ ዛሬ ነው እንዴ ብልጽግና አባል መሆኑን ያወቃችሁት ምን ያርግ ይሄ ሰው የፈለገ ጭንቅላት ቢኖር ምን መሆን ይችላል other than that ethnic federalism እና ይሄ መስተዳድር ትክክል ነው ከማለ ሌላ when he's a part of the organ there is the only way is he's part of that he can administer otherwise he won't administer the next thing you see if they pick this guy is just slaughtering of people in apartheid 10 40 20 ይገባልሃል ቀንድ አውጥቶ ይገባል የድሬ ዘሃረሩ እናት ሳምንት ሙሉ ባንድ ቢክን ያስደንሱላል ምን ማረግ ይችላል ሰውዩ is nonsense ግን ክርስቲያን ታደለ ሰውየው ኮንፍሮንት አረጉ because ያለው ኩሎ ነው ወጣው ያሮጥን ነገር ክርስቲያን ታደለን አሁን ይሄ ጫታም ማለት ነው ይሄ ያላ በሚንደፋደፍ ጫታም ይሄ ያበደ የነሱ ተላላኪ ማለት ነው የነሱ ፍርፋሪ ለቃሚ ተላላኪ እብድ ሽዩም ተሾም ይባል ቢያብድ ይሄ ሰውዬ አይታችሁታል you know you just tell them ይሄ ሰውዬ የናትናው የቤንያሚን ናትናው ተላላኪ ከሆነ እኔ ቤንያሚን ናትናው የኢትዮጵያ ሚኒስቴር ይሆንልኝ ገብታችኋል እንዴ የውሸታቸውን እንትን ነው የምገልጸው በቃ ነገራችሁ በቃ you know this is what it is ምንም there is can't top የትም አታመልጥም የትም ተዋሽበት ነገር የለም I mean top of the pops top and the top top at the top kind of thing that he tells them. በቃ የትም ቦታ መሄዳችን ግን ይሄንን ከሙስጠፊ ጋር ፐርሰናላይዝ ማድረጉ ግን አይገባኝም። ምንድነው ሙስጠፊ ምን ሊያደርግ ይችላል? I feel sorry for ሙስጠፊ። በዚህ ዘመን ተፈጥሮ በዚህ ዘመን የሪጂናል ስቴት መስተዳደር የሚችል ሰው ኢቭን ሀገር ማስተዳደር የሚችል ሰው የባለጌዎች ማህበር ውስጥ መታቀፍ ግዴታ የሆነበት ሰው ነው። ኢማጂን የሆነ ዩኒፋይንግ ጨዋ ነገር የተፈጠረበት ሀገር ጨዋ የፖለቲካ ፕሮሰስ መጥቶ ቢሆንና ይሄ ሰውዬ በአጋጣሚ ቢገኝ ምን አይነት ጃክፖት ነበር ለአንድ ሀገር አንድ ሪጂናል ስቴትን ለማስተዳደር ወር ኤሪያ ነው። የዛ ጊዜ ወይ ሶማሌ ክፍለ ሀገር ቢባል ወይ ሀራሪ ዶማተር ስሙ ግሪሉ ሪጂናል ስቴት ስሙም እኮ አይደለም። ነገርየው አሰራራቸው እንዴት አፓርታይድ እንደሚያደርጉት እንዴት እንደሚሰበሰቡ እንዴት ህዝብ እንደሚያፋጥጡ እንዲው አሁን እንዲው ሰው ጃዋር መሐመድና በቀለ ገርባና እንትና ሀገር ከሚገዙ ነሽመልሳ እነዚህ ሀገር ከሚገዙ ሀገር ባይኖር ምን ችግር አለ? ስንት ሀገር አለ። ያው ቢከፋም ቢለማም የሰው ሀገርም ቢሆን ትኖራለ። አንድ ህይወት ነው ያለ ትኖረ ትሞታለ። ፊኒቶ አይሻልም? እነዚህም አገር የሚያስተዳድሩበት ሀገር ከመኖር እኔ አለመኖርን እመርጣለሁ። እና ይሄ ሰውዬ የሆነ ትልቅ የገማ ነገር ላይ አንድ ሰው ነጥለ ያው ትክክለኛ ነገር የሚሰራውን ሰውዬ ኢቭን አርጊመንቱም I don't think his argument was a fucked up argument. He tell you even ይሄ ፌደራል ስቴት ተብሎ የተዋቀረው ነገር እንኳ በሰላም መመራት ይችላል። እስካሁን እንዳለው መደረግ እስካለው እንዳለው በስተት መሰራት የለበትም። ኢቭን ያ ነገር ሳይለወጥ የፈጠርኩትን ሰላም አለው just reasonable answer ነው። ምንም ማለት ግን ክርስቲያን ታደለ ለጠየቁት ጥያቄ ሁሉ ሲመልስ የነበረው ነገር even though it's unlikely that የፈጠሩት ሪያሊቲ እነሱን የማስመረጥ እንትንም ባይኖረው of course corrupt ነው። ለዛ ነው ከህዝብ ጋር አይገናኝም ነው። ህዝቡ ራሱ ኦሬዲ ብሬን ዋሽ ካረቀው እንዴት ነው ሰው የሚያውጥ ኦሮሞና የሚጠላ ማያከብሩ ብሎ ነው የሚገልጹት። የአማራ ድርጅት ነኝ የሚለው of course ይሄ ኦብቪየስ ነገር ነው። ግን የሰውየውን ኮንቴንቱን የሚናገር ከሰማችሁ የሚፈልገ ዲና ላይ የሆነ ሰው ቢሆን ነው እንጂ ኦሮሞ ይሁን ዘረኛ ይሁን እየተደረገ ያለውና የሚናገሩት ነገር ከዛ በላይ እውነት አትናገር። ከዛ በላይ የራሳቸውን እውነት እኮ ነው የሚነግራቸው። አንተ ያወራኸው አንተ የጻፍከው አለው ሙስጠፊ። ይሄው ሙስጠፊ አንተ የጻፍከው ይሄ ነው። አገሩ ላይ የሆነ ያለው ይሄ ነው። እናንተ ይሄ ናችሁ። እዚህ የተደረገው ይሄ ነው። እዚህ የተደረገው ይሄ ነው። እኛ ሪስፖንድ ያደረግነው በዚህ መልክ ነው። አሁን ማታ አንድ እንጭጭ ልጃገረድ ነጣቃ ጨርቅ እያሰፉላት ማለት ነው። እሱ 2 ሚሊዮን ብር በልቶ ልጅቷ ይሄን ቆዳ የሚልጥ ማለት ነው። ቆዳን የሚለበልብ ይሄን ሲንቴቲክ ጣቃ እያሰፉ እንዲትከሻን እንዲየሰፉላት ማለት ነው። በ10 ሺህ ብር እየቀጠሯት ከጆዳፍ ማለት ነው እያሰቃዩዋት ማለት ነው። አለመት ማለት ለብላ ታያለች። እሱ ሚሊዮኑን ጭድ ያረገ አትሊስት የሆነ የቱርክ ሹራብ ይለብሳል ይሸርሙታል። አሁን ማታ ላይ ያለ ትርጉም የሌለው ነገር ተንደፋድፎ ለአብይ ፕሮፓጋንዳ ሰርቶ ዋሽቶ ደመናይዝ አርጎ ቤንያሚን ኔታንያሁን ያለ አውሮፕላን እዚህ ጎንደር ላይ አስቀምጦ ምን አምታቶ እንዲላበላውን ኢንተለጀንስ ራስርጭ ወጣው እንዲላውን ለሱሪው ላይ የረጨ ላውን ይወጣል። work is done without a movement. work is done defies physics you go out. ይሄው ላቢን እያያችሁት እየሰራው ጫቱ እኮ ነው የሚያለው። የቀን ዱካክ ማለት ነው። በቀን ዱካክ የያዛቸው ያበዱ ኦሮሞነን የሚሉ የባለጌ ጋሎች ስብስብ እንትን ፕሮፓጋንዲስት ተፈራግጦ ዋሽቶ ምናምን በቃ ዘብራርቁ ይሄን እዛ የማይገናኝ አምታቶት ይሄዳል። ያቺ ልጅ ጣቃጨርቋን ለብሳ ጣቃጨርቋን እየለዋወጠች ለብሳ ከስርዓት አይሰጧቸውም። ብር የተሰፋ ልብስ ምናምን ትንሽ ከተል ነገር አይሰጧቸውም። ይሄ የሆነ ጣቃው የሚሰፋ እንደዚህ እየሰፉ እንደዚህ የሰፋ አለሰዋት አንድ ሰዓት በቃ ደሞዟን የሚባለው አንድ ሰዓት እሱን ማየት ነው። ላበላብ ነው ማለት ነው። አንድ 40 ዓመት ልጋጋም እንዲህ እንደታረደ ድሮ ሲንደፋደፍ ላበላብ ደፍ 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 30 ደቂቃ ቆይታ መሀል ላይ ጋዜጠኛ ልትባል እሺ ትላለች እና ስትገባ ማለት ነው ፕሮግራሙን ስከፍት እንዲህ ያለች ታነባለች ብለዋል ሆኗል ትላለች። ለጣቃ ጨርቅማ በቃ ደግሞ እንዲህ በአይኗ እያየችው ነው የሚበላውን ብርና የሰውን አደርባይነት እንዲህ እየታዘበችው ነው። ትታዘበዋለች፣ አይገባውም ግን እየታዘበችው ነው። ወይ ቀበሮ ያለችው ምንድነው? ለሰው ሞት አነሱ ያለችው ቀበሮ ለሰው ሞት አነሱ እያለች እንዲታየዋል። እሱም አይምሮ ያነባል። ጋሎቹ ያፏጩበታል። እንዲህ እያሰበች ነው እያሉ ያፎጩበታል። ያስታውቃል። ኮሚኒኬት ሲያደርጉን የአእምሯቸውን ነው ማለት እያለ እንደፋድፋል። የሆነ አንገት የሆነ ሆድ የሆነ አንገት ጭንቅላቱ በጣም ትልቅ ነው። እንትን ነው የሆነ ኦርጋኒዝም የሆነ ምንድን ነው አሜሪካኖች የሚሏቸው ቢግ ወርም ነው። የሆነ ኦሮሞማ ወርም ነው። የሆነ ስዌቲ ወርም ነው። የሆነ ቁምቡርስ ነገር ነው። ታቶ ይሄዳል። እንዲህ አይነት ነገር ላይ ነው የሚያዙት። ገባ እንዲህ የውሸት ቶክሾ ላይ ሳይሆን የኤሌክሽን ጥያቄ ላይ ጋዜጠኛ ነው። ይሄ ጋዜጠኝነት ይሄ ኤሌክሽኑ የኢትዮጵያ ጋዜጠኝነት ሰምሃው መሆን ያለበት እንዲህ ነው። ግን ይሄም ገና ስክራች ኢን ዘ ሰርፌስ ነው። ግን ጋዜጠኝነት ይሄ ነው። ይሄ ሰውዬ ጋዜጠኛ ነው። የኤሌክሽን ጥያቄ አይደለም። በቃ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ጋዜጠኝነት እንዲህ ነው መሆን ያለበት። when you get them one by one you have to be 100 times serious than this because ሀገር ላይ ሰዎች እየሞቱ ነው እንጂ የሆነ ደም ያስቀምጠ ጣቃ ጨርቅ ይገዛልሻል ያለዛ ይሄን ጣቃ ጨርቅ አይገዛልሽም ትላታለህ። ኦፍ ኮርስ እንጀራው እኮ ምን አባታታል እዛ እኮ ተፋልጠው 1 ሚሊዮን እኮ እንደሚገቡት አንድ ልጋጋም ለፍዳዳ የኦሮሞማ ለፍዳዳ እኮ ስራ ለመቀጠር እኮ 1 ሚሊዮን ነው። እቺ ልጅ እኮ ትልቅ እድል አገኘች። መጀመሪያ ያ ልጅ እሷን የሚያክለው ልጅ ላይ ሎቲ አንጠልጥሎ ደንበኛ አንጠልጥል ማለት ነው። እኔ በካርቶን አኒሜሽን ሁሉ እየሰልኳቸው ኢማጂን እያደረኩ ነበር። ይሄ እንደባሉ ያ እንደሚስቱ ሆኖ ማለት ነው። ጩጬው ልጅ እንደሚስቱ ሆኖ ማለት ነው። እያቆላመጠ እንዲህ ሲያላገጥበት ማለት ነው። you see በቃ ፊኒቶ the truth is this ክርስቲያን ታደለን ሰቅለው ዋሻ ብትለው አማራ ስለሆነ ደገፉት ብትል ምን ብትፈራገጥ የሆነውን ነገርና የምታወሩትን ያወራው እኮ ስለሱም እኮ አይደለም ስለነሱ ስላሳባቸው አይደለም። it's about you what you do and how you relate how despicable sons of bitches you are. perfect ከዚህ ወዲያ እኔ ስለ ኤሌክሽን ስለምንም ሰምቼም አላውቅም መስማትም አልፈልግም። በዲስ ማች የሀገሩን ሁኔታ የሚገልጽ አንድ የ30 ደቂቃ እንትን ሁሉንም የኤሌክሽን ወሬ ሰማፕ የሚያደርገው ይሄ ነበር። አንድ ከብልጽግና ከሚባለው ዲሲዝድ ኦርጋኒዝም ለይተን ማየት ያለብን ፐርሰናሊቲ በጣም ቪሊፋይ ከሚያደርጉት በጣም ብዙ ኮንስፓየር ከሚያደርጉበት የሆነ የፖለቲካ ፓርቲ ነኝ ከሚል ግሩፖች ደግሞ አንዱ ሰው እንዴት ሊያወሩ ይችላሉ፣ እንዴት ፋክቶች ከሁለቱ ሳይድ እንዴት ሊወጣ ይችላል ብለህ የምታይበት የሆነ ነገር መሀል ያለው ሪታርድ ነው። መሀል ያለው ይሄ አይምሮ ዘገምተኛ ፓርላማውን የሞሉት አይነት ይሄ ዘገምተኞች አሉ አይደል? ጀስት ቢኮዝ የሆነ ቋንቋ ተናጋሪ ስለሆነ ያንን ድምጽ እያወጣ የሆነ ነገር ሪፕሬዘንት እንዳደረገ የሆነ እውነቱን ታውቃላችሁ። ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የተማሩት ሰዎች ከዛ አካባቢ ስለሆኑ እንደሱ አይነት ቅዥት የላቸው። ያ አዳማቂ ነው፣ ያ ማማቂ ነው። ይሄ እንትን ነው ታቡላ ራሳ የሚባለው ማለት ነው። ታቡላ ራሳ ነው። በቃ የተሞላው ነው የሚነፋው። ይሄ ታቡላ ራሳ ነው። ገና ደግሞ ብትሞላው ሌላ ነገር ብትሞላም ነገር የሆነ ፓወርፉል ኢንቲቲ መጥቶ ሌላ ነገር ቢሞላው ኢትዮጵያ ሀገሪ ብሎ የወታደር ልብስ ለብሶ እንዲህ እንደ ባርጋው በዳሱ ይደንሳል። ይሄ ለሙስጠፌ አዝናለሁ እንዲያነሱ አጠገቡ ሲቆም፣ ለክርስቲያን ታደለና ለሙስጠፌ መሀል ላይ እንዲያነሳው ሲቆም ትንሽ that's not a side but it's part of a specific that thing was beautiful. 2 ሰዓት ከ15 ደቂቃ non-stop about a lot of kind of stories, starting with the number 17. This was my video. Since I bitches. በጉንፋን ቢመቱኝ በምን ወገቤን ቢቆርጡኝ ማውራት አላቆምኩ። ምንድነው እባክህ ራክስ እኮ ሲዳድ መስላል እኮ። ያኔ ለበለኩት በስመ አብ ይሄኔ ደግሞ ምናምን ቢዩቲ ምናምን አልሄድም። እንዲህ አይነት ብር ነገር አውጥቻለሁ። ከሲሳ ግን ይሻላል ሪላቲቭ። Have a good day, bitches.